Hello and welcome back to the channel. Amber here, and before season 3 starts, I wanted to gather up some of the questions that I've been getting from my video comment section and do a whole video covering them. As usual, you can find me on Instagram, Blue Sky, and Discord, and if you would like to help support the channel, check out Road to Valon on Patreon and YouTube memberships. Special shout out to MM, my newest channel member. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and keeping my lights on. This video is dedicated to you, so let's get into it. Live Chill Life asks, I noticed that Liandrin seems to really be the only blonde Aes Sedai. Is there something to that? Is this to make her stand out? Okay, while I don't believe this is intended to make her stand out, it actually does, but there's actually an in-world reason for it too. Liandrin is actually from the nation of Terabon, which is a country in the southwest of the map. It's the country where Tanchico is located, which is also one of the locations we will see in Season 3. One of the most noticeable features of people from this country is that they have honey blonde hair. The clothing for women is noticeably revealing, and men and women wear veils. But if we go by the books, a blonde hair color seems to be in the minority, at least in some places of the world like the Two Rivers. In chapter 31 of The Eye of the World, Rand makes a point to tell us that while staying with the Grinwells, he notices that Mistress Grinwell has yellow hair, and this is the first time in his whole life he's ever seen a blonde hair color. So Liandrin's hair color is just another aspect of the world building. But you're right. In the show, there are not a lot of blonde Aes Sedai. Now, the next comment comes from Chris Rhodes 2, where they write, what's the point of Moiraine and Siuan being lovers in the show when neither one are a lesbian in the book? And to answer this question, one must read the prequel novel, New Spring. Now, this is a common talking point by people who want to try and dunk on the show for not following the source material. Unfortunately, this is the perfect way to find out who haven't actually read the whole series. New Spring focuses heavily on Siuan and Moiraine's relationship as young women inside the White Tower. Moiraine admits that she loves Siuan, and they actually kiss in the book, but there are still people who just don't want to believe they are in an actual relationship. In world, the term is called pillow friends, and it's used to describe women who are in a relationship with other women within the White Tower. So I think it's best if I leave you with the actual words of the author himself. And to quote Robert Jordan, he says, pillow friends are not just good friends. Oh, they are that too, but they also get hot and sweaty together and muss up the sheets, something fierce. By the way, pillow friends is a term used in the White Tower. The same relationship between men or women elsewhere would be called something else depending on the country. So, the canon answer is that Moiraine and Siuan are queer in the books. They also have relationships with other people, but their love for each other is real. It's not just a show thing. Now, the next question comes from Miguel Dichoso 7582, and they write, do you know how the Aiel tribe carried the glass columns during the breaking of the world? And the answer is that no one really knows how the pillars got there, but we know the Aiel's ancestors were accompanied by Aes Sedai to the waste at one point, and the pillars were most likely made by those Aes Sedai, and not transported with the other relics that we see within the city of Ruidion. Perhaps the show will expand on this, but we will have to wait and see. The road to Spear is almost here. The next question comes from Sogaram Sonal 3376. On the topic of the sneak peek, they write, oh my god, it took my breath away. Can you please tell if Nynaeve will be able to channel in Season 3? And the short answer is no. No one can say what will happen in the show, but in the books, it takes a long time for Nynaeve to figure things out, and she mainly relies on using anger as a crutch to overcome her block. But it's not healthy and it's not a surefire fix. The show could obviously speed things up, but we will have to wait and see. Now, this next comment isn't a question, but it's a really good one, so I wanted to touch on it. Wheatgrass Juice Forever writes, Verin seems to deflect Naomi's attack and indeed looks to her sister to perhaps see what reaction she is supposed to have before she decides to mimic her fall to the floor. And this is an excellent observation. Verin is super tricky, and I could definitely see her making the split-second decision to use this tactic to feign being under the influence of Naomi's compulsion. On my Instagram account, I posted a short slow motion video of just how fast the actual incident is. Verin had milliseconds to cut the weave and look over to see what happened to Adeleas. If anything, Verin might be one of the most intelligent and sneaky Aes Sedai in the tower. Her quick thinking makes her a real force to be reckoned with, so obviously I love this theory. The next question is from Baron Max 2991, and I'm blurring some of it so this video can remain spoiler-free. Can Rand enter dreams through his power? Is this the same as dreamwalking? And to answer that, we have to talk about how dreamwalking works. The first thing to mention is that anyone can be gifted with this talent. It doesn't have any relationship with channeling. What we see in season 2 is Lanfear most likely bringing Rand into a dream shard. These are basically pocket dimensions created by a dreamwalker, and its creator has nearly complete control there. It's another aspect of Teleron Riod. Ishamael uses them a lot in the first season, but for Rand to be able to enter Teleron Riod on his own, he would also need to be a dreamwalker or have a ter'angreal that assists him. I won't go further into it because I don't want to spoil anyone, but just know that yes, it's possible Rand could have this talent as well, but if he can, it would have nothing to do with his powerful channeling capabilities. So, for now, I'll wrap up the questions segment of this video, but as we get closer to season 3, I might actually continue doing this if people enjoy it. It's honestly a lot of fun to go through and see what people are thinking and questioning within my comment section. So by all means, if you have a question because you haven't read the books, drop them in. Also, if you have read the books and it's just been a long time and you are hazy on some of the details, feel free to ask them too. I'll do my best to keep this going while we lead up to the new season. And if it remains popular, maybe I'll do it throughout the season. That wraps things up for today. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you back next time.